Hello and welcome back to RaunchyMutt's SCUM. We got another development update this morning and I wanted to take a few minutes and go over it real quick. Development update number 30, released Monday, October the 10th, 2022. So we start out from the programmers. Some things that have caught my eye. And I have to say, let me back up a minute. I haven't really been playing because I kind of felt like there might be the release coming out pretty soon. And I actually thought maybe today or possibly the end of last week, possibly today. I've been watching RaunchyMutt a little bit, and he seemed to have been giving the same kind of impression that he thought it might be released. Possibly even today. I'm thinking, what would be in the next release? What are we expecting to possibly be in it? So I'm thinking the farming aspect, the modular vehicles, and I don't know if the modular base building will be in there, and it just kind of not far enough along, I don't think, on the base building, modular base building. But I think the vehicles and the farming aspect, and I think RaunchyMutt kind of follows that same thought as well, that the farming and the modular vehicles is what will be in the next release. It won't be, I don't know that it'll be a really major release. I don't know that, I don't expect it to affect characters in any way. They're just now, according to this, starting on that. So we're going to go through this a little bit. So working on the modular base building proof of concept. Why would they be working on the modular base building proof of concept if they had it anywhere near completion? So that's why I'm like, well, I don't think the base building, modular base building, is going to be in the next update. We're probably got another couple of months on that one. Maybe that'll be a Christmas Christmas gift for us. Finishing up the modular vehicle model for testing. Now that tells me it's not going to be this week. It may not even be next week because it's just going into testing. It could be next week or the next. So I'm thinking sometime maybe toward the middle to the end of this month. Well, let's go the end of this month now. Maybe the 1st of November, end of October, November, possibly on that, because it is now, they're saying that it's going into testing. Working on the new vehicles damage model. I don't know how long that would take. I can't see it being that long of a time period. So again, I'm still sticking with end of October, 1st of November. Working on the vehicle attachment system. That sounds like, to me, we may be getting those long-awaited trailers that we've been wanting, so we can haul our motorcycles around. That would be really cool. Haul an ATV around. That would be really, really cool if that was coming. But that's kind of the way vehicle attachment system. Now, I mean, it could be the way that they're doing the modular vehicle model for testing. I would think that they've already got the pieces of the vehicle connecting to each other finished. This sounds like, to me, like, again, I think it just might be trailers. That's the way I'm reading it. Resolving issues with experience gain, tweaking some door-related systems. Door-related systems, tweaking. So are we talking about base building doors? Or are we talking about building doors? Are we talking about vehicle doors? There's a lot there, and tweaking. I don't know, unless they're tweaking some door related systems that are with the modular vehicle. That could be. It's the only way that's the way I'm going to read that for right now. Now, reworking the character creation back-end system. Now, as a developer myself, and I'm not a game developer, I'm an applications developer, but just you know, when you start monkeying with the back end system, especially if you're reworking it, then there's something you're adding to it. So it sounds to me like they are probably taking some of the female stuff that they had to put in on the front end and moving it to the back end, and at the same time they are getting this back end system ready for the male characters. So that is what I'm seeing there. So let's just take that they are beginning work on doing the character creation for males, and they're going to probably move some stuff that they put in the front for females back in the back that is also going to be used in the same area with the males. You know, they put it up front because they didn't want to mess with the back end system. They focused on getting the females done. They got the females done. It's in place. Now some of that might be what we call duplicate code, and it's partly, you know, fixed and modified to handle the female character. They didn't want to touch the males, so now they're going to move that back into the backside, and it will now be part of the male system as well. Both systems, let's say the whole character creation system now. So I'm going to guess that's what that is. Refactoring the character appearance code, and there again, you know, we do have some different appearances with the females. It makes sense that if they're putting some of that stuff now into the back end system, that's going to affect the males, and therefore it is the character appearance code, not male or female, the whole system for character appearance. So that makes sense. If what I thought here is true, then that right there would also hold true there too. All right, resolving issues with the network application graph. I'm not real sure what that is, but you know, if it has anything to do with the network, then it's an improvement, I'm sure. And of course, here we got network performance, so they're going to work on that some more. And I saw something coming up here in a few minutes that makes me happy that the network performance is doing really well. Okay, so working on the ATM UI and user interface for the automated teller machine. So I expect that also will be in the next release whenever it comes out. That they will finally have the ATMs. It's possible. It's possible. Okay, reworking the character criminal record UI. I'm still puzzled about this. I am still puzzled. I do not know what the character criminal record UI is, so that it's not dependent on the Unreal Engine blueprints. See, the only time that we have a criminal record is right before our character exits the door and goes out to be dropped into the game. And there is no interaction there. It is just a static kind of screen, graphic, whatever you want to call it. And there's nothing there. I mean, it just throws some information out there. Yeah, okay, he's arsonist, he weighs this much. So the fact that now they are calling it a UI, a user interface, not a picture, not a graphic. It is now a user interface. So that is interesting. And that, even the last time on the last update, they said something about the character criminal record UI. So here it is again, but now they're going to separate it so that it's not dependent on the Unreal Engine. I don't know that they would even be using the Unreal Engine in the character creation area. That is not something that I could see would require heavy three-dimensional graphics or, you know, the Unreal Engine to do that. That just seems so simple compared to the game itself once you get inside. So I'm scratching my head on that one. I'm not real sure. All right. Opening up some of the apartments in Sambor City. Okay, here's that performance. So what I'm thinking here is they've had such a good feedback, and they've seen such a great performance increase in locking down Sambor City. Now, we've been to Sambor City. We walked around. There are some buildings which you can go into still, but they're not like it was. You can't go into every building, but there are some that you can go into. Still a couple little stores, still a couple little armory stores where you can go in and get some ammunition. The restaurant, the hardware store, things like that. And it's just in these, like, if you take the city and block it, draw it, slice it into blocks. So this block has this store that you can walk into. This block has this store. But there may be, and what I'm guessing is, there may be other blocks that didn't have, like, significant POI, like a restaurant or a store or ammunition store or whatever, ammo store, whatever, that now they're like, hey, you know what? This block here, we could open up these apartments. We could let people get into these apartments here. And maybe over on this side of the same block, these apartments. And then over here on this side of the town, there's some, another block where we can open up these apartments now. And I think that's the way I'm taking that, is that they're finding, they've got some really good performance now through the city. They may have decided, maybe we shut down too much of it, and they're going to those areas where there is nothing accessible and making the apartments accessible in those areas. That's kind of the way I'm taking that. Okay, so unwrapping and texturing the nuclear power plant buildings. Okay, creating the ruined parts of the nuclear reactor building. So, and see, I was hoping that we might see this POI in the next release. So this again, they're still working on some of the texturing. They're working on some of the ruined parts. They're working on the diesel generator building. They're creating it. Actually, they're creating these here. Finishing the repair and construction assets, placing down spawners on the new POI. Working on, okay, so we'll hold on on that one. So here with the nuclear power plant, they've still got some work there to do. So again, 2, 3, 4 weeks out still possibly on that. So it's, these parts here, if the nuclear power plant is included in the next release, along with the modular vehicles and possibly even the farming, then, and the ATMs, it could all be about the same time frame. So that's where I'm looking. I'm looking at that. Now, the reason I didn't want to go any further, working on the Ferris wheel. Now, this was kind of an interesting point that came up in the last development update about the amusement park. All right, so I don't expect the amusement park to be in any release coming up anytime soon. I mean, that's something that they just started. I expect that to be a couple of months, 3 months out still. That might be another Christmas packet or Christmas gift for us. But the Ferris wheel is going to be in that amusement park, and they're working on it. So, and the fact that they're working on the Ferris wheel leads me to believe that it's going to be one of those where we can actually get on and ride. So that's going to be something of interest. We can actually hop on, ride the Ferris wheel for a while, get off at some point, and just thinking. That's where my mind is going on that one. All right, finish the nitrogen oxygen processing plant, reworking office containers, working on the diesel generator room, working on the power plant admin building. So here, some of this could possibly be in the next patch. They say they finished the processing plant, but they're reworking a couple of things. So again, I could give them a few weeks to get that done. They got it. All right, working on the barber non-playing playable character head. So we got, we're going to have a barber that we exchange, we can pay and tell him what kind of haircut we want and sit down and he cuts our hair for us. Working on the modular vehicles animation. So there again, it's not quite ready yet. There's still got work to do. The SKS model. So that's one of the weapons. They're working on that. And here again, redesigning the criminal record panel. Now, this is more of what I would call what we have today. It's just a panel. It's not interactive. It's not a UI. It's a panel that just has static information on it. So now I'm thinking the character criminal record UI versus the criminal record panel. So maybe they're redesigning what we have today so that it reflects what occurs on the character criminal record UI. Maybe this is something that's coming up where we're going to be able to select, yeah, I'm in here for arson, and it gives you, I just had an idea. What if you were in here for murder? Say you could select the crime that you were in prison for, and you selected murder, and it gave you extra points for weapons. All right, you were in, say you selected for theft, and it increased your thievery. You were in for, arsonist or something like that. You increased your bomb skills. Maybe, I'm seeing that. That's where my mind's going. So let's keep that in mind and see if that might come about. But we'll learn more. All right, so working on new concept art, mapping out the new quad model. Oh, okay. Now this is going to be probably the modular. Oh man, so see, that pushes the modular vehicles out further if they're just now starting. Well, no, wait a minute. I'll take that back, because Tomislav did state in one of his releases that they were going to start out with a small set of vehicles and then start adding more later. So, okay, I'm not going to let the fact that the new quad model isn't completed being a problem with the modular vehicles being released. That might be something that comes later. We'll get the quads will be released at a later date. Okay, working on the farming animations, creating the barber NPC clothing, working on pesticide items. Oh, finishing up farming plant meshes. The pesticides could come at a later date. They could go ahead and release farming, and then we do get pesticides later. Or maybe the pesticides don't require that much work. It's just things, we need to consider. And then that new Scar H weapon. So sound, resolving the issues with voice chat, resolving issues with puppet sounds, working on new weapon sounds. Okay. Testing upcoming features. Community feedback, catching banning cheaters, Steam bug reports. Okay. Design team. Working on the radiation effects design document. Oh, okay. Working on EOD suit design document. EOD. EOD. Oh, why is that escaping me? I should know what that means, and I know what it means. I just can't get it to come out right now. But anyway, okay, so that kind of covers what we can find and any hints that I'm seeing, I think, from the development update number 30. Thank you. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Support my channel just by subscribing and liking my content, guys. I really appreciate it. And girls, that is. And because I know there's a lot of girls that play SCUM, and I really appreciate that. But support my channel, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification button, and follow me. Probably going to be getting back into playing some this week, now that I see that it's probably going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to say 4 to 6 weeks before the next release at minimum. So probably do that. And I've also kind of been itching for some World of Tanks, and so I might play a little World of Tanks and post a few of those. But yeah, that's why I've kind of been lagging behind, because I really thought they might be a release, and I didn't want to get in there and get everything started only to lose it. So I thank you again. Thank you again and I'll talk to you the next time on RaunchyMutt's SCUM.